Instead of stopping, and it probably would have only lasted a day or two, I called and got another pill, and that was it. It was no longer a choice. That's when it became a disease.
And I surrendered everything. Friends, gang banging, just everything. I quit.
From the time I was 17 up until I got saved, I did everything there was to do. Everything.
But she just couldn't stay away. She couldn't stay sober.
I'm 21, but some days I feel like I'm 42 in the body, you know what I'm saying?
He can tell the sound guy what to do. He can tell the makeup person what to do. He can tell everybody what to do. The camera guy was like, I need this, I need that. Well, that's how most filmmaking is. So that's the thing, is after your first movie.
Well, I thought that it was a particularly challenging project because we're taking folks who have never made film or video content before, and we're creating 6 pieces with them, 5 to 6 pieces. That was the goal, was 5 PSAs from soup to nuts. That's a lot of learning in a very short amount of time. It's not easy to do, so it was a challenge. Day one was pretty tough. Day one was pretty tough with these students. They do have sometimes short attention spans, and so it's difficult sometimes to reach them, and I was nervous. But we got there. These folks were excited to get cameras in their hands. They were excited to make what they were going to make. All of these students were interested in making a difference in their community, though. And so it was more of like, what do I got to do to make a difference in my community? You know, what kind of process do we need to go through? I got to learn this camera so that I can change the lives of the people in my community, so I can change the lives of people in my family.
On February 11th, 1994, I held him for the first time. And on August 22nd, 2015, I held him for the last time.
About the program, I like the fact that it taught me a lot. It definitely taught me how to work with cameras and organize like filming and things like that. The editing process was probably the hardest part. But other than that, everything that he taught us definitely was very meaningful and it stuck. So as far as like learning how to put up like the stage and doing like the set, making the set and stuff like that, that's probably like the best part because I know now how to build like backgrounds and things like that, and I know now whenever it comes to like the light fixtures, where to put them, how to put them. So that was like very learning experience for me.
I really didn't know. I kind of, because it was first presented to us like we're gonna do some type of movie, and then like we all knew about like the interview part of it, but then we really, well, I ain't gonna say we, but I really didn't know too much of what we were gonna do. I had an idea, like I said, about the interview part, but other than that, I really didn't know.
When we first started, it was like it was kind of like everywhere because I was new to it, so I didn't know what was really going on. But as every day came, and getting closer to the end, I understood like some of the parts we needed to learn earlier into the program.
I've always been the type of like watch movies and think like, I wonder what really happens behind the scenes, like how they put all of this together. So I definitely wanted to gain some type of experience of knowing how to create little clips and bring them together, edit them. So I definitely learned a lot.
And that's one thing that I hated about the way it made me be around family is I lied to everybody, to cover it up. Then they couldn't trust you because you get to stealing, but the drug leads you to do that because that's how your body's saying you want it, so by any means necessary you want to get it.
And in the pieces that we finished, these students, they ran the cameras, they set up the lighting, they built the background, they ran the sound.
When I say people, I mean not specifically the user, but
they came up with the questions, conducted the interviews, pulled the clips, edited the videos that you see. Did they have help along the process? Absolutely. Come on, they're students. They need help. But I want you to understand that the videos that we finished, those are their videos. Nobody could make them except them.
A lot of the problems I feel is if people keep quiet about what they see. You know, if you see your brother, speak out. Say, look, Mom, I think my brother has a problem. Keeping quiet about things and trying to cover them up and hide them will never make it go away.
I don't look at TV the same at all. Like, when I look at TV now, I say, like, it's definitely not as easy as it looks. Like, you would think that everybody just comes together and boom, you get something, a big picture. But now that I've witnessed how to do it behind the scenes, it's definitely way more difficult, and I'll never look at it the same.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Now it's like I see now how hard it is for them to make just one simple little clip. So just imagine how hard it is for them to actually make a whole movie, like, you know? So now I'll never look at TV the same after this.
Yeah, when I sit and watch it, and like I can hear like, because you guys taught us like sound is like one of the most important things. Because you have different errors with the video, but if the sound is an error, that's all you think about. And that's as weird as it is, because you think you're watching something, you see something as opposed to hearing it. But the biggest thing is like the sound. Like I watch this show, Supernatural, and they finally fixed the sound in their booth. Before then, when I first learned that, that's all I could hear. I can pick out the sound part, the sound problems. And
I had one student when we were shooting who would not stop texting. And then in the edit, she's the one who cut the piece that she couldn't stop texting through, and she did a great job. Fits and starts, but learning took place and growth took place, and you can't quantify that. And, you know, it happened, and that's great, and that was the goal.
And I'm 54 years old, like I'm saying now, and I still fight. I fight this problem.
Several of the people we interviewed were directly related to the students in the program. And not only that, we had actually one of the folks who was interviewed by his son. So he's trying to talk about maybe the hardest problem in his life, and he's staring into the eyes of his son, which you can't really tell when you watch the finished piece. But when we got into editing, the son turns to me and says, "You know why he's looking away so much? Because he's going to cry, because he's staring at me in my eyes, and he knows how much it's affected us as a family."
I used drugs, and I got it. And, you know, I didn't play around. I had no fear of drugs.
You know, this process, this 3-week process when I had these students, is really a team effort. Even beyond this, so it's of course is myself, it's the 9 students doing a lot of hard work, but then also it's Debbie Baczynski coming in and doing, she lined up some of the interviews that we saw. She was in constant communication with these students almost daily, you know, so she was extremely helpful.
The way that I was raised, my parents always did for kids. You know, back in the 70s, we had people into our house all the time, and my mother worked with the schools, and my father was one of the founders of the Manessa Midget Basketball League with 3 other guys, and that's the way I was raised, to try to help those that were less fortunate than we were. Whenever we got these kids in here, there were a couple of them I didn't think they would make it through the first week, and one I didn't think would make it to the second day. But once we started the filming portion here at Douglas, they got the hands-on experience. To them, that made a world of difference. And whenever they actually listened to and interviewed the people from the community who have either lost a child or had somebody that used drugs, one person said, "I have chills listening to other people's stories." Well, whenever my daughter told her story and she was done, at the end of that, they all came up to give me a hug and said, "Now we understand why you do this. This is personal to you." And it is.
Jay behind the scenes was doing things. Sue behind the scenes was doing things. Bob Tennell behind the scenes was doing things. And then also Doug Durazi, he took time out of his day to get computers working. And not only that, you know, he spent a greater part of an afternoon teaching one of our students Pro Tools for 4 hours straight, just right through lunch, is focused on learning Pro Tools, learning as much as he can. Like, I was like, are you gonna take lunch? And he was like, no, I'm cool. Like, so somebody, you know, when they're really being educated and they're learning something they want to learn, even lunch just goes away. It was incredible. So we had some great folks teaching and making this process happen. We can't forget Jeff Ambrasia. He's the president of Douglas Education Center, and he's the one who made this a priority. He is where it starts, you know, the buck starts there. I know it's supposed to be the buck stops here, but it really starts there because Jeff wanted this program to happen.
Drugs are a serious problem, heroin in particular. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic in our community. I would like to thank all those who volunteered in making these videos. Your testimonials and stories were heartfelt and very much appreciated and will make a difference. I also would like to have a special thanks to the Workforce Investment Board of Westmoreland and Fayette County, the Private Industry Council, and the following Douglas Education Center employees. Speaking on behalf of everybody involved in these videos, our goal was to make a video that was powerful enough and told a story that shows the real pain and destruction behind the drug use and its effect on our families and society. If these videos saved just one life, then all our efforts were worth it, and we made a difference.
I'm proud of these videos because I'm proud of our accomplishments, and I'm proud of the students because they really are the driving force behind them.